So what excites me about architecture? The sort of people that are in architecture who don't just design buildings, but are also producers of the sorts of events that go on in buildings.
It's had a lot of challenges, a lot of ups and downs.
The role of the architect is just so different in so many different places, and it can take on so many different forms.
We live in and are surrounded by the built environment, so it's partly that you have so much control, but then also a really big responsibility in shaping how people experience it.
It hasn't been easy, but it's definitely worth it.
I'm Emily Foster, and I'm a Part 1 architectural assistant at Alford Hall Monaghan Morris. So I got into architecture through an amazing programme called Accelerate, run by this charity called Open City. So I was mentored by AHMM. They're really big advocates of supporting young people by the very fact that they do apprenticeships. I think everyone needs to mentor, first of all, but also be mentored. I'm just excited about the fact that I know I can do loads of different things and loads of people are doing interesting things, and I just want to collaborate with those people.
My name's Jahba Anan, and I am currently a Part 2 MArch student at the London School of Architecture. I did a Part 1 course at the Bartlett School of Architecture. I worked in practice as a Part 1, but then I also did a lot of other jobs, such as working here at the RIBA as an engagement officer, and then I eventually went back to do my Part 2 at the LSA. As part of the LSA, I had to do a placement and work 3 days a week, and that was actually really useful because it allowed me to work and study at the same time. It made it really accessible for me to study architecture, and a similar route is doing RIBA Studio, which is also another course that allows you to work and study at the same time.
My name's Scarffe. I'm currently studying my Part 3 at Westminster University. I'm a designer at Universal Design Studio. Recently graduated from the Royal College of Art. I hadn't before been encouraged or been kind of given the room, I guess, to explore my personal experience of disability in architecture. Being able to be given the opportunity to kind of leverage that personal experience as a disabled designer, I think was really an amazing opportunity. It allowed me to take something that I probably previously, a kind of unique aspect of myself, which I think had a sense of potentially at times shame or stigma attached to it. It's allowed me to kind of think about how that unique view of the world can actually be a positive thing. So I'm currently completing my Part 3. In terms of next steps, I think I'd really just like focusing on the next kind of thing in front of me. You can often get quite overwhelmed, I think, because architecture is such a long career and you're forced to think kind of so far ahead of you, and that can often, I think, feel a little bit overwhelming, and I think you can kind of get this sense of choice paralysis where you kind of don't know where you want to go. And I think, you know, really just focusing on that next step really just gives you a little bit of flexibility to think about, you know, how things can maybe just come onto the horizon and you can kind of react to them.
Hi, I'm Gideon Seglah. I'm an architect at HLM Architects. My current job role is an architect. It's been an 8-year journey, which I'm now at the conclusion of. Well, studying wise at the conclusion of, where you keep learning as you go through life. I studied Part 1 at University of Lincoln until I then went to UEL for my Masters back in London, and then finally completed at Westminster about almost 3 years ago now. What excites me? I think it's a realisation of creating spaces for individuals. It's being thoughtful in how we design spaces, internal and external, and how they're used, how it can create emotional feelings for those users within the space. It's had a lot of challenges, a lot of ups and downs, from, you know, tutors that can be very critical, subjective of your work, compared to obviously the hustle and bustle of reality of life itself, and getting that first Part 1 job and progressing and getting that Part 2 job. It hasn't been easy, but it's definitely worth it.
So definitely be proactive, get involved as much as possible in just different things, and try and get work experience, and it's actually easier than you think it is in terms of looking at local practices that are in your area. Some people might say no, some people will say yes. You only need one yes.
I think if I was to give one piece of advice, it would be really trying to kind of find that one thing that you're passionate about to help you develop your voice as a designer. I just think it's so important to find a kind of way of designing or an area of designing in something that you just feel so passionate about, because I think that will just really reflect in the end product.
My advice would be keep going. So many people I know that I studied with have struggled as well as I have, but ultimately it's worth it in the end. You set yourself a dream, a goal, and to achieve that goal and that dream and to keep pushing your purpose is an amazing feeling once you get towards the end of it. You know, you graduate once, fantastic, yes. Graduate again, fantastic, yes. And that third time, yeah, it's for your family. So I would always say keep pushing, keep dreaming, keep pushing your goals, keep pushing the conversations.
So I think it's really important to have as many different voices and perspectives coming into architecture as possible. So I would really encourage anyone from any kind of background to not be intimidated and feel like they have a place within the architecture industry.